Yes, people. It's your host, Shazad Mack, back again on the finished article with Fergie Time. Twitter handler at the bottom just here. I'm going to bring my boy Shazad on. How's it going, Shaz? All good? Good day?
Alhamdulillah, good. Back again for another episode. Guys, if you were watching, great episode this afternoon on all things Sky Blues. But you know what? We're turning our attention to Man United, boys. We are back, me and Shaz, back again at Fergie Time. How's it? Hope everyone's well. And as always, before Shaz kicks my ass, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. Bro. We're on the race to 100, and I believe before today's episode or tonight's one, we're on 97. So we are very close to the 100th subscriber, and Shaz has got a sick prize that we've seen that we're going to be giving out to the 100th subscriber. We'll be doing a draw for that very shortly. You never know.
Bro. 97, bang on. You were right with that.
97. So thank you very much for your support. As always, we wouldn't be where we are today without you. And as always, any comments, and as you can see, my Twitter handle there and the finished article link below. Please follow us there for more content. Leave your comments. Let us know what you want us to cover. But let's go. Let's
get into this, bro.
Let's
go. Haven't been on Fergie Time for a while. So
been a while.
For people who haven't seen Fergie Time before, this is where we just talk about Manchester United. In this episode, mainly we're going to be covering transfer rumours, some of the signings that we've made. So I'm going to kick off with one of the smaller signings, bro. We'll build up to the other ones, yeah? We've signed Tom Heaton back as a goalkeeper. Why? Now, I don't understand the logic behind this. We have Lee Grant. We have Henderson and De Gea fighting for number one. The only reason I can think of that we've signed Tom Heaton is that either Dean Henderson's got number one and De Gea wants to leave, or De Gea's got number one and Henderson wants to leave, and they need someone as a backup. So they've got Tom Heaton.
Right, Tom Heaton.
Because it's going to be really, really hard this season, Shaz, to juggle De Gea and Henderson.
But that's what I mean. If Tom Heaton was good enough, he wouldn't have left 10 years ago. We wouldn't need 100%. To sign him if he was good enough to stay.
100%, bro. I don't understand the logic behind selling a player and then signing him back.
Yeah.
Unless he's really young, you sell him and then you want him back and you've got a buyback clause to get him cheap. But we got him on a free, I believe, so it's not too bad.
No, it's not. But as always, there are some weird signings. But you know what? I think they've made up for it. And Shaz is going to go into that shortly.
So next, we're going to go into one of the biggest signings of the window so far. Man United is finally signing Jadon Sancho. And believe it or not, Shaz, the window hasn't even closed yet. And United have signed someone. It's freaking magic, bro.
It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since we've not left anything to the last minute. And you know what? I think the catalyst for these couple of signings was the protest towards the end of the season last year. They realized that, look, guys, we can't keep leaving things to the last minute. And I think they saw the potential in United squad. And I think Glazers are finding the finger out their ass and realized if we don't sort shit out now, they're going to kick us out. So fair play to them for coming to the table. Although I'm not impressed with what they've done by taking money out of the club. But you know what?
This window, they've done well. Obviously, we got Tom Heaton for whatever reason. Only Solskjaer will know that. We've got Jadon Sancho, which is a big, big deal for United to get such a player. And the reason I'm saying that is because he's still a young player. He has a lot to prove in the Premier League because he was a youngster at Man City and didn't get to play in the Premier League for him before he went to Dortmund. Now he has a point to prove, but against them, not for them. It's a bit of a reversal from what happened with Pogba. Pogba was at United, left to Juve. Now he's come back to prove a point, which at the moment he hasn't done. So I'm hoping he sticks around to
Can I jump in on this? So I know we talked about this earlier, but I just want to jump in on the Pogba situation.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Say what you need to say.
My issue with Pogba is I love the guy. Talented player, he's got all the skill in the world. The problem is that when he plays for France, he seems to have freedom like he's never had freedom before. And I think this is where Ollie needs to realize that this guy is a gem of a player. So what you need to do is build a team around him. So he's either got two choices.
I'm sure we said didn't we talk about this in the last video that we did on football, not the United one, but the last football one. I'm sure we did.
Yeah, so we touched upon it briefly. So what we said is that look, either he goes on a free at the end of next season, or what you do is you cash in on him now and say, look, I'm going to make 40, 50 million for him now and reinvest that money. Now, my issue is that I would actually prefer Pogba stay, give a brilliant season, and he's going to go anywhere, like you said, unless apparently PSG.
I mean, bro, the thing I have here, United are making moves in this transfer window, bro. But how much has he got in the transfer kitty? You know, how much is left in there? I think whatever's left in there is going to be dependent on some players actually leaving.
Well, that's what I said. So you either need to.
That's why this whole rumor is coming about that Pogba is leaving, because out of all the players that we could sell, I'd rather not sell Pogba. I'd rather, even if we're just going to keep him for the next season and let him go on free at the end of next season, at the start of next season, I wouldn't mind doing something like that.
If anything,
hold on, just let me finish, bro. Because from now till the end of next season, if we win trophies this season coming, that could change Pogba's mind and keep him at United. Now, saying that, I think what Solskjaer will try and do is sell Pogba this window, and the money he gets for Pogba is reinvest it in other players, because there are rumours that he's still after another 2 or 3 players still. But the only way he's going to get them is if we sell Pogba.
No, I think you just took the word out in terms of the Pogba situation.
There's a huge list of players here that Solskjaer is looking to get rid of.
Go on.
So I'm going to go through this list with you. So some of them I understand, some of them I'm not 100% sure why they're on this list. So Jesse Lingard, I understand why he's on it, but I'd rather him stay at United.
Okay.
We've got Brandon Williams, which I'm okay with going because at the moment he's third choice left back behind Alex Telles and Luke Shaw. And I don't think he's going to get much playing time at United with them two around.
Nope.
Then you've got Diogo Dalot, who's probably behind Wan-Bissaka on right back.
I think AC Milan will sign him. He was there last year.
I think he's going to go on a permanent deal this time.
Yeah.
The other players on this list, Alex Telles, apparently Solskjaer is okay to accept an offer for Telles, which will be foolish because him and Luke Shaw are fighting for number 1 at left back, and it is a good competitive position for him.
They need the competition, yeah.
A player who me and you have both said should have left United years ago, Phil Jones.
Yes.
He's finally on that. It looks like he's finally on that chopping block, bro. He's finally going. Another player I mentioned a few days ago to you, Andres Pereira.
Yeah.
And the other player that's on that list by the looks of it is Daniel James, who I'm happy with letting him go, bro.
He can go. You know what? And the other player I want to add to that list, and I know you might say no, but you know what? I'd cut my losses with Anthony Martial. We've had him for 6 years. He's done well.
I get where you're coming from with it, but I think another season and see how he does and then get rid of him.
Fair enough.
Now, a couple of the players that United... so, sorry, before we move on. So, it also says United have, obviously we've just talked about it, the goalkeepers. So, it says here that Solskjaer will be happy to sanction a deal, a loan deal or a permanent deal for David De Gea or Dean Henderson. Why? I don't. Either a loan or a permanent deal, it says. So he's happy for one of them to leave, either on loan or on a permanent deal, and I don't understand why. They're the two of the best goalkeepers we've got. Yes, they're both number 1. But
I'll tell you why. Because what you normally have in most teams, and United are in a bit of a pickle here. Why? Because what you normally tend to have with goalkeepers, you have one brilliant keeper, and then you have one keeper that's good, but he isn't exceptional. So it's almost like, I know I've got my number 1. What you've got now is a dilemma of 2 actually world-class keepers. The problem is, and this is where the Pogba situation gets messy, They are paying David De Gea a reported 375K a week. So that's the most in the world for any goalkeeper.
A goalkeeper, yeah.
So
highest paid goalkeeper in the world at the moment.
He's world class, no doubt. He's a legend. I've got no issues. But what he needed was to sit on the bench to drive a bit of hunger. Now, what didn't help was at the Euros, they didn't pick him. So that might drive his motivation to say, look, I've got a point to prove, which means that I'm happy for him to stay. The other problem you've got is you've got up and coming great goalkeeper in Dean Henderson.
100%.
He himself didn't go to the Euros because of injury. Why? Because in the report that I read, he was pushing so hard to get into the United side. By the time he got to the Euros, he was pretty much worn out.
Yeah, he wear and tear on the body during the season.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's all it was. Now, you're right with that, bro. I'm very torn about this with the goalkeepers because I like De Gea and I like Dean Henderson. I think they're both great goalkeepers. Now, personally, like this is something that I do on Football Manager. I have one of them play in the Premier League, and then any cups I have the other goalkeeper.
Correct.
And then in Europe, I balance between both of them.
Okay. So basically, what you do is what used to happen with Sergio Romero. He used to be the cup or goalkeeper in Europe.
Yeah.
Apart from the final,
semi-final and finals. Yeah, that's something similar I do. But on Football Manager, I keep faith in my player. So if I say right, Dean Henderson is my cup goalkeeper, whether it's Champions League or Europa League, whatever it is, he stays as my cup goalkeeper, all the way to the final if we get there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get to the semi-final and say, right, I'm going to put De Gea in now because we want to win this. I'm like, no, Henderson's been in this cup from the start, from in the squad, so he's going to finish it, whether we lose or not.
Yeah,
I'm going to have faith in him because it's going to give him that experience in semi-finals and finals, which players like younger players need.
Quick question for you, since we're on the topic of goalkeepers. Do you know if Sergio Romero has actually left the club or is he still at the club?
As far as I know, his contract's expired, bro.
Okay, no, I couldn't remember if he's gone or if he's still on the books. Lee Grant, I think, is a goalkeeping coach. I don't think they're gonna play him.
No, I don't think he will. I'm just gonna check now. Yeah, it says he was at United till 2021, so I'm guessing the contract's finished.
That's good.
Let's have a quick look. Current club. I don't think he's at a club at the moment. I think he's just obviously left United. He's waiting for obviously offers to come in now for a new. Yeah, so it says here, after not featuring for the whole of last season, on the 4th of June, he was set to become a free agent due to his contract expiring. United released a list of players who are being released at the end of June. Yeah, so it looks like he's gone. He played 61 matches for United, though, yeah? And in those 61 matches, he actually kept 39 clean sheets. So those are good numbers, bro. Those are good numbers. I think whoever snaps up Romero as the goalkeeper he'll do well there because he is a good goalkeeper. He's not as good as De Gea, and I don't think where he is at his career now, he's not as good as Dean Henderson.
No, I agree with that.
So some of the rumours are obviously that we've already spoke about. Solskjaer's wish list, bro, consists of 3 more players. Atletico Madrid's Kieran Trippier.
Yes.
Which you said, obviously, we already spoke about earlier. Rennes midfielder Eduardo Camavinga and versatile Sevilla defender Jules Koundé.
I heard Chelsea are in for him.
Koundé?
They're in advanced talks with Koundé.
Oh, they are? Okay.
I just saw maybe that's
it says here United, obviously, they've signed Sancho.
Yeah.
And obviously, we haven't even spoke about the biggest news yet, bro. United are on the verge of signing Raphael Varane.
I have to say, of all the transfers this that we've talked about, while Sancho is probably the biggest, Varane is probably bigger in terms of how we've actually managed to convince Real Madrid to part with him.
No. I've read into this, bro, and Real Madrid are playing it clever, yeah. So the way they're doing this is obviously they've just let Sergio Ramos go on a free to PSG.
Correct.
They've just got rid of obviously Varane once he comes to United. That's their centre back partnership gone. In the same window. There's other players that they're getting rid of, like Isco. They're not going to renew his contract next year, and I think there's a couple of other players.
Okay, fair enough.
But what Madrid have said, and this is I don't know how true this is or whatever. So I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, but it sounds like a good theory. So they've come out and said they're not actually going to sign anyone this year. So from this season to next season, Real Madrid aren't going to sign anybody, right? They're going to save those finances. So obviously you've just got rid of Ramos, who was on £400,000 a week or something. You've had Varane, who was on 170. So that's together. That's just near enough. What?
Under 600k.
Just under 600k, yeah. That you've just saved every week. So it builds up over the year. That's going to be a couple of. That's what, close to 25 million or something, I believe.
Yeah.
So they've just saved themselves 25 million. Yeah. They've made 35 million plus add-ons from Varane as well. So that takes you up to about 50 mil. Then you've got the transfer pot that they've got from this season that they've said they're not even going to use, and they're going to take it across to next season. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to sign Kylian Mbappe next season. Because Mbappe has told PSG that he doesn't want to stay. He's actually not going to re-sign with them. So, sorry, people. It looks like Shazaz disappeared on me while I'm talking. I think he got bored of me. I think my man just got bored of me and just disappeared.
No, I'm back.
No, my man just got bored of me and disappeared just as I was getting to the end of what I was saying. I don't know if you caught what I said, Shaz.
No, you're talking about Varane and the deal.
So basically, Real Madrid, they've saved themselves 25 mil. They've got the money from Varane. They're not going to buy anyone this season. They're going to transfer that kitty from this season to next season, which will give them more money. It'll give them close to 100 to 150k. 100 and 150 million to spend on players.
Okay.
And the other part of that is Kylian Mbappe said he's not staying at PSG. So they're probably just going to sign him on a free next season, or they'll wait till January and then say, okay, we've got new finances for the year. Boom, here you are, PSG. This is how much we're going to pay you for your player. Let's have him. Because Mbappe said he's not staying at PSG. He's told them he's not re-signing because I think he's done as much as he can there. He hasn't won the Champions League, and I think that's his next goal, is to win a Champions League.
He might as well move clubs to win the Champions League.
It's kind of like what better club to move to, Shaz, to win the Champions League than Real Madrid?
No, I was thinking he comes to Man United. Mbappe and the Man United shirt would be sick.
He's not coming to United, bro. Can't afford him. We'd have to sell half the squad that we just bought. We'd have to get rid of Varane. We'd have to get rid of Sancho. We'd have to get rid of Pogba and Fernandes, and then buy him, and then we'd have no one left.
Well, one can wish, man. One can hope. One can hope.
Oh, but do you know what? I'm gonna go out and say this, bro. I don't even rate Kylian Mbappe that much, bro. The only good thing about him is his pace. He's fast as anything, bro. But if you watch him play, he misses a lot of chances that he should be finishing.
So I remember the Champions League game, Man United, PSG last season, and Tuanzebe had him in his back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Which tells you a lot.
Come on, bro. You just said it, bro. Tuanzebe had him in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Tuanzebe, and he's not even our first choice centre back.
Yeah, centre back. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It's
now,
one of
the other.
Go on.
I don't know if I told you about it. I don't know if we spoke about this on the last podcast yet. We might have done about the football one. So the mission is for Solskjaer to bring in Haaland from Dortmund. But obviously, United can't afford him. So
not this season, next season, you mean, right?
No. This season, bro. This is latest news, bro, that I'm reading. I've been reading this for the past 2 or 3 days, bro. that
So
United are
how would
looking
you
to
finance it?
I'm going through that with you now, bro. I'm going to go through that with you. So obviously they're going to have to pay some money for this amazing player from Dortmund. Whatever they've got left in the transfer kitty, they're going to obviously use to buy him. But it's not enough to buy a player. I mean, Dortmund paid 80 million for him about a season ago, yeah? So United are going to have to pay more than 80 million to get him because he's still young. He's had such an amazing season at Dortmund. So the rumours are that United are offering cash plus players to Dortmund for Haaland.
Okay.
Now, obviously, they're offering cash, which we obviously know is going to be in the region of what? They're probably after what, about 50 million? I don't know, maybe 50 million. But they're going to be offering Martial plus money for Haaland.
So then I reckon what they're doing is they're going to offer 75, 80 million in
Sorry,
cash.
bro. I got that wrong. 80 million isn't how much Dortmund paid for him. They paid 20 million for him. I apologize.
Yeah.
And it was actually United that paid 80 million for Martial.
No, they paid 36 million for Martial.
I said here they paid 80. I don't get where that's come from. It says Haaland considering including it says 80 million euros we paid for Martial a few years ago to Monaco, which I believe is wrong. I don't think we paid 80 million for him. I think it was half that.
Okay, hold on.
But either way, the problem with this deal, bro, is that Joel Glacier, one of the owners of United, is a very, very big fan of Martial and he doesn't want him to go.
Okay.
So it's either they do the swap deal with Martial and money for Haaland, or Glacier's going to have to cough up the money to buy Haaland without selling Martial.
Well, either way, they're going to have to sell anyway, and they need to get rid of few players.
They don't, bro. United's finances are really good, you know, bro.
That's what I mean, bro. So that's what I'm trying to say. So they have money. What they're basically trying to say is because of the whole COVID pandemic, they need to restructure how they spend. But let's be honest, club of Man United's stature last couple of okay. So the one thing I read earlier, and I don't know if you caught this, is apparently since Oli started managing the club, he has spent 421 million on 13 players. But that in comparison over the long run is not actually a lot of money because we've just spent 73 million on Sancho, 40. In fact, Varane's a bargain at the price he
100%. Varane is a bargain.
I reckon we have enough finances at the club to be able to go and say, look, we want to get Erling Haaland. And if we have to pay cash, we'll pay cash. What they're trying to do is be shrewd operators and say, this is why we didn't get Sancho last year. Because what they said is, now we're going to play poker with you. And basically, Dortmund don't buy it. Now, the problem is you're going to go back to Dortmund and say, listen, let's play poker again. Well, this time they're going to say, well, we'll play, but you got to show us your hand first. That's what's going to happen.
Of course, man. So, latest rumor that I'm reading, bro, whilst we're talking, I'm just going through some of the sources that I use to obviously get these rumors, bro. Yeah. So, there's a rumor around that West Ham are actually trying to sign a United player, and it's not who you think it is. It's not Jesse Lingard, bro. Are you gonna have a guess at who this is? Someone that we've mentioned in today's video.
Phil Jones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, you bang on. I don't even know how you got that right, bro. But West Ham are exploring an option of signing Phil Jones. That's good. He's actually not played competitive football for 18 months.
Well, I know he's been injured.
He was injured with a knee. He had knee surgery and he's been recovering from that.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
He's got 2 years left on his contract. So I reckon, and he's taking 100K a week, bro. But the way that West Ham are going to try and bring him in is that they're not going to offer him a high wage. I don't think West Ham can afford 100K a week for a player. So they're probably going to offer him maybe 50, 60K, which is still good for a player who at his age, bro. 50, 60K a week, plus bonuses, clean sheets, goal bonus, where you finish in the table, things like that. That'll boost his weekly salary up, which I think is a good way of motivating a player to play well as well. So you can throw all the money you want at a player and say, we're going to give you £400,000 a week, right? And then Ramos is on something ridiculous, like he was on like £400,000 a week plus something like 15 to 20K appearance fee. So if he comes off the bench or he starts, he gets 20K on top. Clean sheet, he gets another ridiculous amount of 10 to 15K. And then it's just crazy. Like, strikers have a bonus in their contract that's, goal scores. Every goal that they score, they get let's say it's 5 to 10K per goal.
Yeah, exactly.
These type of things are what should be used to bring players in. It should be you get a base salary, right? So all clubs should get rid of this wage crap that 400,000 to 200,000, whatever. You should have a base salary of what 40, 50K plus your bonuses for playing well, appearance fees, goal scoring fees, clean sheet fees for goalkeepers and defenders, winning the Champions League, depending on where you finish on the table. These type of bonuses, that type of structure will save the club money in wages, and it will help the players perform better. They'll perform better to make more money, bro. And that, like, let's be honest, the money is the key motivator to footballers these days. For most of them, I'm not saying all of them, bro, but most of the players are motivated by the amount of money that they can make from moving from one club to another.
Yeah.
No, that's my take on it, bro. That's my take on it.
You've hit the nail on the head. So basically what you're saying is let's drive better performances because you're going to pay for you get say 10K a bonus for a goal. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go out and smash a hat trick because I want the extra 30K. Well, guess what? That works in everyone's favor. But the problem is TV money has actually spoiled football because the amount of investment sponsorship. This is why footballers are getting paid way more than the average.
Bang on.
That's the problem.
So the other player that I want to touch on, bro, before we wrap up, I know we've been talking for a while now. I want to talk about Paul Pogba, man.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I want to talk about him, because I know we talked about him in the other video, and I'm going to talk about it again because this is probably the better video to talk about it on because this is about United. Paul Pogba is a United player.
Yes.
And as far as all this bullcrap is that he's rejected a deal from Man United, that's bullcrap.
Yes.
The last piece of news that I believe about this is that Pogba is still talking to United about a new deal, whether he wants to stay, whether he wants to go. Obviously his team in United are talking about this. Now, there's always going to be rumours about big players, man, leaving that club. Look at Ronaldo, bro. Every year, no matter what club he's at, since he's left United, so whilst he's been at Madrid, every year, bro, there was a rumour Ronaldo's leaving. He's not happy. He's going back to United. How many times did you hear that whilst he was at Real Madrid, bro? Be honest.
Way too many times to remember.
Every season I heard that, bro. I just laughed at it. The first few times I heard of it, I thought, I'd love to have Ronaldo back. Who wouldn't want Ronaldo on the team? If you could get Ronaldo back, who wouldn't want him? You know what I mean? It'd be a dream come true to have Ronaldo back at United. I'm not even going to lie. I'd absolutely love it, bro. But it's not going to happen until he wants it to happen. And I don't think he wants to come back to United. Even at the end of his career, he can make more money in the Major League Soccer in America.
Yeah.
I reckon at the end of his career, he's going to go there. Last few years, he'll play for Inter Miami under David Beckham, and he'll smash it. He'll make all the money he needs there. He's got businesses, so he doesn't even need to do that. He could just retire.
No, I agree.
I'm getting off topic there with Ronaldo, but Pogba, the reason I want to talk about him because originally the rumor was Real Madrid wanted him. That was the original rumor earlier. I think earlier last year or the end of last year. That's what I heard. Real Madrid wanted him.
Yeah.
And the reason they wanted him was mainly because of Zidane. Zidane is a big, big admirer of Paul Pogba because obviously they're both French, and he's a big admirer of Paul Pogba from the French team. Zidane's no longer in charge now at Madrid, so that's gone. Real Madrid have said we're no longer interested in Paul Pogba. We don't want him. The only reason that rumor was there is because Zidane wanted him.
Yeah.
Now the other rumor is PSG want him or Barcelona want him. But
they can't afford it.
You've got to think, right? Pogba's got a year left on his contract, yeah? Now, if he's told United that he wants to leave, right, it would be stupid for United to keep him this season, right? Yeah. Because they won't make anything off it. They'll have paid his wages for, 4 or 5 year contract that they paid 89, 90 million for this player.
Correct.
And they're not going to get anything back. They're not going to recoup any of that fee, bro.
No, yeah, true.
Right. So it would, fair enough, he's in the last year of his contract. So we're not going to get that much money for him, bro. But what? I mean, but we could still get 40, 50, 60 million for him. Yeah. He's still that good of a player that you could get a fee like that. So we're not going to lose out that much on him. But if I were United, if Pogba has told us that he wants to leave, let him leave and get the money for him and reinvest it in maybe 2 or 3 younger players like you've got Amid Diallo and these type of players. Try and bring in those type of younger players like 10, 15 million for the future. Now, on the other side is if Pogba has decided he wants to stay at United, right, let's get that contract signed before it gets too late.
Well, I think this is the whole drive. So with Oli signing the contract the other day, with Sancho and Varane coming in, hopefully that should show Pogba that the project is viable.
Yeah. Because I mean, Varane and Pogba are good friends.
Yes.
So I think the signing of Varane was not just for United, but it was to keep Pogba happy as well.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm saying get this contract signed by Pogba is because by the time it gets to January, he's got 6 months left on his contract. He can start speaking to other teams.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. If he's staying at United, we need to get that deal done by the end of this year, by December, before that transfer window opens. Because once that transfer window opens, even if Real Madrid decide they want him, they can offer him money. They can offer him a contract. Barcelona can offer him a contract. PSG, anyone could offer him a contract. And that's going to, he's going to be like, whoa, I'm getting this much money at United, but I could get this much money over here, or I could get this much money over here. And that could, motivate him into wanting to leave, which I don't think he wants to leave right now, bro. I think he's happy at United.
I never said he wanted to leave. I think we both agreed that it's just keyboard warriors are just making stories up as they go.
And that's what pisses me off, man. Yeah. These journalists who don't even know whether Pogba wants to leave or not are just saying, oh, he's rejected a deal because he wants to leave. What are you talking about? When did United offer him a deal? When did United offer him a deal? That's not how it works. United don't just turn around and say, oh, you've got 1 year left on your contract. Here's a new contract. No, it works as United representatives talk to Pogba's representatives and they discuss, does Pogba want to stay? That's the main issue that United need to discuss right now. Does Pogba want to stay? And at the end of that, if Pogba wants to stay, that's when United will say, okay, he wants to stay. Tell us what it's going to take to keep him here.
Yeah.
And let's negotiate. Let's bring something in. And if it turns out, no, Pogba wants to leave, he doesn't want you to offer him a new contract, then, yeah, United need to put him on the transfer list and then make an announcement that Pogba wants to leave. And obviously that will come out in the news and people will start making bids for him. But I don't think they will start making bids for him because they could just wait till next season and get him on free, bro.
Yeah, so I never believe those rumors.
So United are in a win-lose situation here, bro. If he wants to stay, it's a win. Anything else, United are going to lose out on a lot of money from him, bro.
No, I agree. I mean,
The reason he moved to United was A, to prove a point that he is a good player to United because he left, he had unfinished business. And B, he wanted to win trophies. Now, since he's been here, we've won one trophy, I believe. Europa League.
Europa League.
Mourinho. Okay, 2. That's not good enough for a player like Pogba. He wants to be winning the Premier League. He wants to be winning the Champions League, right? And Solskjaer knows that, man. That's why he's brought in Jadon Sancho for more attacking options, to score more goals, to get more assists. And that's why he's brought in Varane to bolster that defense, because you've got Lindesoft, as you call him, partnering Harry Maguire most of the time. And now you've got Varane. That's going to make a solid defense. I mean, look at our back four, bro, right? Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Raphael Varane, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I can't.
You tell me, does that to me? This is a bit of a wild statement, bro. But I've seen other people say it, and at the moment it's not proven, right? So, but in the next few years, these 4 can be a solid defensive partnership. It's a reminiscence of Vidic,
Ferdinand,
Rio, Gary Neville, and Patrice Evra. Sorry,
Patrice Evra.
Yeah. That was an amazing back 4 United had. Minus Gary Neville, it was an amazing 3. but saying that, bro, now we've got 4 solid defenders, right? And you've got Tellez fighting for left back as well with Luke Shaw. You've got Tuanzebe, Bailly, and Lindelof in central defence, and I can't remember who we've got at right back, fighting for right back with Wan-Bissaka. They're all other players, but I can't remember the names off the top of my head. So defensive wise, we're pretty sound, bro.
I think defensively we're fine. With that Varane signing, it plugs up.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Right, United are sound in all areas: attacking, defending, midfield, goalkeepers. We've got no worries there, bro. We don't even need to talk about that. We've got De Gea, we've got Henderson, Lee Grant, Tom Heaton. Do you know what I mean? We don't even need to talk about the depth that we've got in goalkeeping, right? Defensive-wise, now we've bolstered it with Varane. We're looking at Koundé. You know, that's going to... If we can get him, that's even better. We can get rid of Lindelof. We can get rid of Eric Bailly. We can get rid of 2 players and bring in 1 player that can do their job. Why not? You're saving money on wages. You're getting an extra transfer free. Do you know what I mean? Midfield-wise, I think midfield-wise, that's where we've got the most players. Because midfield and wingers, right? Because Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Martial, these players, even Jadon Sancho, these are wingers or midfielders, bro. As well as you've got Pogba, Fernandes, Matic, McTominay, Fred, Mata. Do you know what I mean? Our midfield we don't have any problems in midfield. I mean, if one player is injured, another one comes in and takes their place.
Exactly.
The problem, the other area that we have a problem is striker, an out striker.
We don't have it.
We've got Cavani, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about Cavani, man, because he's come in and he's absolutely smashed it in his first season at United, bro. Right? He signed for another year, which I'm absolutely happy with because of the type of player he is. He's amazing. I mean, I've said it time and time again, bro. His off the ball positioning and movement is probably the best in the world in football. You tell me if you can find another player that can move in the final third without the ball like Cavani, bro.
You'd struggle to.
You struggle to find someone with that quality of finishing as well, bro. Right?
No, I agree.
So what happens next? You know, what happens when Cavani decides at the end of next season he wants to leave? Because I think that's what's going to happen.
He will leave at the end of next season. I think it was only...
the first deal was 1 year. That finished. He said, okay, I'm happy to stay and do another year. He's done that. obviously. At the end of next season, I've got a feeling he is going to leave. So what do United do? Did they put Marcus Rashford up front? Did they put Mason Greenwood up front? Did they put Martial up front? Did they put Sancho up front?
No,
because you've got 3 players there that could all score goals, but they're not out and out strikers.
I mean, this is why. So when they re-signed Cavani, they said, okay, look, at least temporarily.
Give us a year. Give us a year to bring someone in it. Yeah. No, that's all it was. You give us a year, stay with United. We'll give you X amount wage. We'll give you the money.
Why do you
stay another year, help us out, and we'll bring someone in? Do you know what I mean?
Sancho's favorite shirt is number 7, but Cavani's holding on to that this season. So when Cavani goes next season,
that's it. Jadon Sancho made a request to take number 7 from Cavani, but Solskjaer rejected it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take.
He's giving him the number 25 because I believe he was born on the 25th of March or something like that, and 2 + 5 is 7 or some weird thing like that. I was reading it earlier, bro. Sounds to me like the Tupac death conspiracy theory as well, bro. Do you know what I mean? With all these number 7s, the 7-day theory. Let's not get into that, bro. That we'll save that for another podcast when we've got more time in it, bro.
We will indeed. We will.
But out and out striker, bro. Like I said, we haven't got an out and out striker, and that we haven't had one since Wayne Rooney, maybe Van Persie. I think that was the Van Persie. Besides Cavani, I mean, we haven't really had an out and out striker. We had Ibrahimovic, but that's not long term, bro. I'm talking about long term. Long term, we had Van Persie and then Wayne Rooney, but after that, we've only had Ibrahimovic short term, and now we've had Cavani short term. You can't put someone in that position short term. You need someone young who's got pace, who can score goals like Haaland. Now, if I were United, right, I probably would have gone and signed Haaland instead of Sancho, right? And I'm not saying that because I don't rate Sancho, right? Because I do like Sancho. He's a good player, and I was a very, very I'm a very big fan of his, and I've always thought that during the Euros he should have played more for England, right? But we don't need Sancho because we've got Rashford, we've got Mason Greenwood, and we've got Anthony Martial. They all can do the same thing Sancho does, but I think Sancho maybe does it better. Is that why people are so happy that we've signed him? Can he do it better? I mean, we're not going to know until the season starts and we see him play. Yeah. But if it were me, I would have used that 70-odd million plus more to buy Haaland, bring Haaland in, and then just buy Sancho at the end of his contract, or just get Sancho on a free next season because he was at the end of his deal anyway. You have that agreement with the player that we'll sign you next year on free, but this year we want to buy Haaland. We'll reunite you at United next season.
Yeah, that is one option that they have.
That's what I mean, personally, that's what I would have done, bro. Because, like I said, we need an out-and-out striker. We need someone in that position that can score goals. I mean, at the moment, we're struggling for people that score goals. That's the only way to put it, bro. I mean, and that's why we were behind City, because we're struggling to score goals. Fernandes is he's good at assisting. Luke Shaw's good at assisting. Rashford, he had a bad season. I'm not going to say too much about Rashford because it is a bit harsh, man, to say too much about his season. He had a bad season. He had a bad Euro. He missed a penalty. I'm not going to go into too much of it because I respect the guy for what he's done outside of football and what he's done for Man United, since he's been in the first team. He's absolutely smashed it. I'm not going to be one of those players that people that are going to hate on him because he had one bad season, bro. That's bullcrap. Yeah. He's a United player, and I'll stick by him until he either leaves or retires at United. I will stick by all our players, and I will stick with our manager until they leave, bro. I'm not that type of person that will turn around and say, "Oh, Rashford's had a shit season. Let's sell him. He's shit." He's not. He's proven he's not.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Martial, bro. I rate Martial. When he first started at United, he had a few good seasons with us. Last season, he didn't play as much. I think his confidence has been knocked because he's not getting picked a lot. And I think maybe he needs time away from United, like Lingard on loan.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe loan him out for a season to someone in the French league, the Italian league, somewhere like that. Let him build his confidence up on a season away from United. Bring him back, and I guarantee he will be a different player, bro. It's with players, bro. Sometimes it's hard to look after all your players. So I'm not gonna blame Solskjaer on that because he's got a big squad, bro. Including the reserves, including the under 18s. I mean, bringing players through. He has to look after the players, but he has to pick the squad that he feels best for a win at United.
No, I
think
I agree with that. Yeah, I think it's about game management, how he manages the players. We needed depth, so I'm glad that we're adding good quality players to the depth. It's just going to be about how they manage the players through the season, substitutions.
Exactly, bro. I mean, like I said, bro. I mean, you have to manage your players and you have to manage their expectations as well, bro. Now, Martial is a young player still. I mean, and I think he expects to play a lot at United, even though when he plays, he doesn't play well. He has that very laid-back attitude when he's on the pitch. Like, he's got the ball, he's going forward, he'll lose the ball, and then he'll just stop. He just stops and he stays there for a bit, and then he starts just walking slowly back. Do you know what I mean? That's not the type of attitude you need to have. I mean, if you look at Fernandes, bro, look at Fernandes. What does Fernandes do when he loses the ball?
I understand that. That was my only issue with Martial that I had, because he tends to sulk too much.
Yeah.
When you lose a big deal, it happens. Go back, fight for it, get it back, and
that's it.
Keep the game.
That's it. And I think he needs to learn that type of attitude.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Solskjaer's trying to maybe make him realize, that you need to have a better attitude whilst you're playing to actually get into the team. Now, like I said, Solskjaer should be managing that by saying it to him, not just expecting it from him. And I think Solskjaer is still a young manager. Let's be honest. He's managed what? He's managed United reserves, I believe, under 23s. He's managed Mould, Cardiff, and then he managed Mould again, and now he's managing United.
Yeah, that's true.
So minus being Man United manager for the past few years, minus United reserves, he's only had a season at Cardiff and a couple of seasons at Mould as a manager. So it's not a lot of experience for Solskjaer as a manager. And coming in to manage a team like United, it's you've got a lot of weight on your shoulders, because you've got the fans have expectations from Man United, and
they would.
He has to deliver.
But he's done well to get rid of a lot of the deadwood that was.
He has. He got rid of Sanchez. Chris Smalling's gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, just before we carry on, Shaz, I just want to give a shout out to the people that are watching. I know there's a couple of people popping up that are watching. If you have anything you want us to talk about, leave your comments and we'll get to them shortly before we wrap up. But I mean, one other thing I want to touch on, Shaz, before we do wrap up, is Solskjaer is expected now to play more attacking football, yeah?
Yeah.
Because obviously he signed Sancho, so he needs to play more attacking football. And he signed Varane to help bolster the defense so he can play that attacking football, right?
Yeah.
So what happened to McTominay and Fred?
Well, you don't need to play McTominay and Fred. That's what I said.
Because they're defensive midfielders, I believe. And Matic, that's three players that play defensive midfield at United.
No, bro,
so that puts them at risk of being sold or
let me answer your question. So what you got to realize is there's always room for those type of players at the club, depending on the match, depending on the situation. I'm not saying every match you're going to play all out, guns out, attacking someone.
No, of course not. You can't. You can't. That would just be silly, wouldn't it?
What I'm trying to say is, when I talk about Lindesoft and I talk about having McFred in midfield, what I was referring to is if you look at the fact up front, we had, say, Cavani, you had Fernandes, you had Pogba, you had Rashford, you had Greenwood, for example. The problem is in the middle of our midfield, there was such a huge gap. So you had the attack up front, you had the midfield so far back in defense, there was no one playing in the middle. So defensive midfielders, for me, you only need one, which is why I keep banging on about Declan Rice. Yes, he's expensive. We probably won't get him, but why not go out and make an audacious bid for him? Because at the end of the day, he is good enough to come and play for a top club. And the funny thing is
Chelsea, he though? I'm gonna stop you, bro. I'm gonna ask you the question. Okay. Is he really good enough?
Yeah, he's good enough.
He plays at West Ham right now, doesn't he?
Bro, do you know where he used to play before?
Am I right though? He plays at West Ham, yeah?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Chelsea let him go.
Eh?
Chelsea let him go.
Yeah, I know Chelsea let him go, but that proves the point there, Shaz, though. He wasn't good enough for Chelsea, and Chelsea are one of the top 5, top 6 teams in the league. So what makes him good enough to come to United now? That he wasn't good enough to Chelsea for. So why is he good enough for United, bro? That's my question too. I'm not saying he's not a good player. Don't get me wrong. I do think he's a good player. He had a good Euros with England.
Yeah.
But what makes him good enough for United? You tell me, bro.
Well, I say he's good enough because he can do the job of 2 defensive midfielders in one. He's good enough because he links up defense and attack. And I say it's worth a punt on someone that at least you know what? I like McTominay. I like Fred, but I don't like them as a pairing. So if you're going to play one or the other, but don't play both. So therefore, what you then do is you link up the midfield and you link up the attack. You can still protect the defense, but let's be honest. When you have Varane and Maguire in defense, and maybe Koundé, for example, depending on how that one goes, then you don't need to be then you don't need to babysit the defense. If you're going to concede, the art of football is you will always at some point concede, but you're good enough, or United are good enough with the attacking players. As Fernandes said in his interview today, he said, "Mate, even if we didn't sign Varane or Sancho, Man United are good enough to challenge. What they have to do is believe in themselves that they can do it."
Of course. Now, so I'm just going to bring up one other point, bro. So this is why I think we don't need a defensive midfielder, bro. Okay. Now, you've got, obviously, we know our attack. You've got Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial. You've got all the, Sancho, Greenwood, and Cavani, right?
Yeah.
Now, the problem that we've had is that between defense and attack, there's nothing linking us up, which United struggle with. There's no link between the defense and the attack. Now, if you watch the Euros, bro, which I know you did, so Harry Maguire is a perfect player that can do that, bro. But he's not had the opportunity to show that at United because his defensive partnership has always been weak. Not weak, but not as good. Exactly. So he's not been able to move forward. Like for England, if you watched, when he had the ball, he'd move forward into midfield. He'd move forward into the opponent's half and pass the ball to the attackers. Now, with Varane coming into the squad, he's got someone that he can count on, that he's got confidence in, that can cover the defense whilst he goes forward to do that.
You know what? The guy can also take penalties. Give him the penalty kick.
Exactly, bro. But do you get where I'm coming from? He's a ball playing defender. He can move the ball from defense into midfield and pass it about. And I think that's what United need him to do, like he did for England, and that's why we've brought in Varane, so he can go forward and do that. Because Lindelof, yes, he's good, but he's not as good as Varane, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And Eric Bailly is decent, but he's not as fast as he used to be. But Varane isn't the type of player that goes forward.
Yeah.
Varane stays in defence. He doesn't go forward, which is perfect to partner with someone like Harry Maguire, who does like to go forward, who does like to get into not defensive, into midfield positions and pass the ball around. So you've got a perfect defensive partnership there, bro. And then you've also got Luke Shaw on the left wing, who's had a resurgence in his career since Mourinho ripped him. And then you've got Wan-Bissaka on right back, who can move forward. Yes, a lot of people say his attacking side isn't good, but defensively, you cannot touch Wan-Bissaka one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with that.
So saying that, United have a great team, bro. With the players coming in, Varane, Sancho, maybe Koundé or Camavinga, maybe even your boy Declan Rice, someone like that coming in, it'd be good. Because, look, midfield-wise, you could play Pogba, Fernandes, and Declan Rice in like a triangle. So you've got them two in the middle, and then Declan Rice just a bit further behind them to help out with the defense, which also helps with the point that I made about Harry Maguire, because Declan Rice can stay back and take cover for defense with Varane, whilst Harry Maguire goes forward and passes the ball. So that's the signing of Declan Rice does make sense in that instance, bro. And you're not wrong. Declan Rice is a good player. Like I said, I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think United are going to sign him.
No, that's true. It's just one that I think off the top of my head.
Another player that could play that role instead of Declan Rice is Calvin Phillips.
Yes.
From Leeds. I think he had a good World Cup for England, World Cup Euros for England.
Yeah.
And I think him and Declan Rice did really well in that partnership together. But I think Phillips stood out more to me.
No, he did well.
Yeah, they were both good. They were both good. So either one would be great for United. But like I said, United can't sign everyone they're linked to. Otherwise, they'd be bankrupt by now, bro. But I think we've got Varane coming in. I think the medical is meant to be tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
Medical tomorrow. Paperwork's all signed. He'll be announced as a United player by the weekend or start of next week. That's my take on it. That's what I've heard the rumours are as well, bro. I know a couple of people that work at United as well, so I've got my contacts there, and they've been saying that he's definitely due a medical in the next couple of days. The rumour is that it is scheduled for tomorrow, but that's not. No one can confirm it. Everyone's really tight-lipped about it. I'm just getting like the rumours from within Manchester United, which better than the rumours that you get online that Pogba's leaving. Yeah, but the other rumor is that United are looking to sign at least another 2 players, bro. One possibly before the season starts and one before the window. Maybe it's just going to be one more player due to finances. Depends on who and how much the fee is going to be. Yeah, and wages and stuff. Yeah, man, we've been talking for just under an hour now, bro. So I think we should, wrap this one up, bro. This has been a long one, bro. Man's tired. It's 12:15. I can hear fireworks outside. That's why I keep looking over here, bro. I don't know what's going on. I think there's a wedding somewhere in town. People love putting fireworks on at weddings, especially our Asian people like us. They love their fireworks at the end of a wedding, don't they, bro?
No, that's true. That's true. It's one that we will look into in the next couple of weeks. We will be covering more on all these topics, and
yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely, bro. I think we'll be back later on this week, maybe tomorrow or Thursday, with another video. Not on Fergie Time, maybe just on all things football. Before I do forget, we are due to be on another podcast on Saturday. It is an audio podcast, so we're going to be waiting for it to be edited and go online, and then the host from that show will be coming on here with us live, maybe. So what we're trying to do is have his released as part 1, and then the day after his is released, we'll do part 2 live on ours. Let's have a look. I don't think I've got the name of his show. He's just messaged me asking me if we can come on. So I haven't even got the name of his show, bro. But yeah, Saturday we'll be doing that. it won't be a football one. It is purely wrestling. So people who obviously watch the wrestling show will know about that, and we will share the link on our page on Facebook and Twitter just to let people know when that's released. And like I said, we're going to try and work it so part 2 is either the day after his is released as part 1, or maybe a couple of days after to give you a chance to listen to part 1. But we're still working that out with him over the next couple of days. Big shout out to the boys over at Sarcasm City Podcast. I forgot to shout them out. They let us come on one of their shows a few weeks ago. That was a buzz. I absolutely buzzed off it. Hopefully we get to do that again on some of the other shows, like maybe the Man United Mandem podcast show. Do some collaborations there with our man Flawless. Yeah, but before we go, Shaz, I'm going to let you run it down because I'm getting a sore throat from talking too much, bro.
No, I think Shaz has pretty much covered it all. So as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We are on the race to 100. Shaz, correct me if I'm wrong. We're still on 97, unless we hit the magic number.
I mean, during the show I did check. We were on 97. I'll quickly check now for you, bro.
Yeah,
we're on 97. So we're 3 off that first target of 100.
That magic number. And then, as always, there will be a lucky prize for the winner. We'll be doing a random draw out of a hat or electronically. We'll see which way.
Well, what I'm going to do is put all the names on a spreadsheet and give them all a number. Just use a number generator online. Get that number and see who actually won.
Perfect, indeed.
And we'll try and get in touch with them and see. But yeah, that's everything from me, bro. I've talked too much, bro. But before I go, social for me is here. If you want to get in touch with me, Shaz is over there. Right down below is our contact for Finished Article on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah,
we will look at possibly getting an Instagram set up for Finished Article, and maybe a Snapchat to do a few little snaps whilst we're live. We'll have a look into doing that, Shaz. But for now, people, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what are the rumours you've heard of that we haven't discussed. And let us know what you think of what we have discussed. But for now, everyone, this is Shazad signing off. Until next time.
Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy, peeps. Too sweet.